when your mom, me when your mom.
It's the first rule in Hollywood that all franchises, no matter how old or dead they are, will eventually be dragged back out for a reboot, sequel, or remake. So it was only a matter of time before the bigwigs took a shot at Twister, which is an okay cult classic disaster movie from the late 90s, who before now no one was really thinking about. To me, Twister is a fun popcorn movie where you can just sit back and don't really have to pay attention to the characters or plot. It's a movie which has the sole objective of showing you basic cookie cutter characters almost getting horribly killed by a tornado. And I'd say it definitely accomplishes what it sets out to do. When the sequel was announced earlier this year, I didn't really understand the point of it. If you're going to bring back a franchise from obscurity with a sequel, then at least expand upon the original, which it didn't seem like Twisters was setting out to do, considering the trailer showed absolutely no connection to the original, besides a brief appearance from Dorothy. But after watching the film, I now understand why the trailer made this sequel feel so uneventful. This isn't a sequel to Twister, it's a remake of Twister. The plot of this movie follows similar story beats to the original, but makes slight changes to adjust for the time gap. So now I'm sort of struggling to determine my feelings for this movie, because as a sequel, this is just okay. But as a remake, it's pretty dang good. So without further ado, let's dive into Twisters. The story follows Kate Cooper, who is attempting to use a new tracking system on a tornado while a social media star named Tyler Owens competes with Kate for the tornadoes. This is a popcorn movie, just like the original, but I feel like characters in this are much more interesting, especially the two main characters. The original didn't have bad characters, just really generic ones, and luckily that's something that was improved upon in this movie, although they still aren't the main appeal of the film. That honor would go to the special effects and CGI, which look incredibly good. The sheer power and force behind the tornadoes is demonstrated beautifully and is backed up with impressive sound design. The acting is okay, for the most part. The real talent is with Kate and Tyler's acting, done by Daisy Edgar Jones and Glenn Powell respectively. And while the rest of the cast doesn't give a bad performance, they aren't exactly memorable. The plot is extremely paper thin, and that's sort of to be expected from a disaster movie, but I feel like this movie thinks it's telling some A-tier story, when it's actually more like a high tier at best. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with a simple story, I'm just saying that I don't think the people who made this movie think this is a simple story, which leads to certain parts of the movie overindulging itself, which doesn't completely ruin the movie, but leads to some areas dragging. The really weird part of this whole film is how detached it is from the original. That's why I said it felt like more of a remake than a sequel, because it kind of replays the original movie while also changing just enough to make it fit better in 2024, like upgrading the technology and featuring a social media star as one of the main characters. But that isn't really a bad thing, and honestly, I think I like this movie better than if it was just referencing the original all the time. In summary, Twisters is a fun, cheap, summer popcorn movie that doesn't really offer much in terms of innovation in the series it's reviving, but instead taking the ideas presented in the original movie and adding twists to keep the formula fresh. And I think that's pretty neat. Now I wonder what obscure franchise will be the next to be dragged out of retirement. Honestly, after seeing this movie, I wouldn't mind... Oh. Well, I'll get to you later. That's all I got for now. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and hit that bell icon to be notified for whenever I make a new video. The next review should be another double review of Trap and Borderlands, so if you're interested in that, or interested in supporting the channel more, then turn on notifications and check out my other videos. Okay, that's it. Bye.